This has been quite possibly the most bullshit season of all time. One that has been plagued with upsets, surprise teams, disappointments, and just complete turnarounds, whether it be for the better or for the worst, and outright collapses as well. But it is that fateful time, finally. Playoffs are here. 14 teams fight and try to vie for that coveted Lombardi trophy. So I think it's time we take a real good look at them. Bonjour mes amis, je suis Canadien logique, and welcome to the Amateur's Guide. It's a show that I normally do around specific times of the year where I just talk my shit and try to give you guys a good guide towards a potential end. So, with all being said, let's get ourselves into it. Let's bring in the first team. So, our number one seed in the AFC is Denver. Honestly, with how they performed last season to this was a major improvement from last season. That is for damn sure. However, there are questions surrounding this fucking team. But the amount of times they've had close games against opponents they should have outright dominated, which leads to Denver's questionings of, is this a stable enough team to get it done? Like, let's put it this way. They beat the Commanders in overtime by 1 point. They beat the Chiefs by 3 points. Same with the Raiders, the Texans, the Giants by a mere point, the Jets only by 2, the Eagles by 4, the Titans by 8, and need I go down the list any further because it's just going to prove the point. While Denver may be a damn good team and have had cases of brilliance, this is just not the way you want to fucking go with this. Denver is a good team again, but the question is, can they keep up with the best of the best? If their matchup against the fucking Jaguars a couple weeks ago was any indication, probably not. But one thing is for certain though, when it comes to Denver, always expect the unexpected.
Wow, what a bad example I'm making.
There's a lot of things I could say regarding the Patriots. There is a lot. I mean, yeah, sure, they had a paper soft schedule. Yes, they played some tough opponents throughout here and there. But I feel the Patriots had a damn good season, all things considered. You don't just go 14-3 a year after going 4-13 just like that. Drake May has come into his own. Mike Vrabel taking the reins was part of the best decision the Patriots have made in a good while. We'll see Matt Collins, Stephon Diggs, those two working tandemly beautifully. Can't forget Demario Douglas, Kayshon Boutte, and the on-off role player here and there. Notably Hunter Henry, Ramondre Stevenson, and Travion Henderson. This is a Patriots team, despite the paper soft schedule, made the best of it, blowing out their opponents by multiple scores on several occasions, beating the Bucks, beating the Falcons, beating the Bengals, the Bills on Sunday night primetime, beating Baltimore to put them on the brink at one point, curb stomping both the Jets and Dolphins on the final week of the season, keeping it close against the Bills in their second go-around at Foxborough. The Patriots have proven they can hang with the big guys. But against their Chargers coming up, that's going to be a test for them, considering how the Chargers have been all season long. Time will tell how things play out there, but Drake May. The turnaround of the Jacksonville Jaguars needs to be seriously studied. This was a team that a lot of people had slept on, myself included, at the beginning of the season. But my God almighty, they made the best of what they had this year. Trevor Lawrence coming into his own properly. Travis Hunter being a freaking formidable force on both sides of the ball, both as a receiver and a corner. Travis Etienne coming into his own, having a nice year for himself. Brian Thomas, the addition of Jacoby Myers really helped things out for them. They managed to keep it close against some, and managed to not do so well against others. But Jacksonville has given a damn good fight all season, even beating out the #1 Denver Broncos weeks ago. You don't just do that with anybody, Jacksonville. That's a damn tough opponent to beat, and you beat them. By 14 fucking points, no less. Jacksonville has been a team that is honestly on the up and up. And it's a damn good, it's really interesting, really. Given the fact that, you know, the less you give a shit about AEW, the more comprehensive your fucking football crap becomes. But what do I know? I'm just an idiot fucking recording this shit in this fucking downstairs living room. But point is, Jacksonville, honestly, I don't know what to make of you. I like the team that you have. I like the core you have. But the real question is now, can you beat the Bills? They're a hungry team, and they're looking to fucking break through for once in their lives. Clock's ticking, Jacksonville. What is your next move? Tonight, on All the Bullshit, the Pittsburgh Steelers eke their way into the playoffs despite having yet another ugly and tumultuous season. The season finishes off at 10-7. Somehow not the traditional 9-8, and Mike Tomlin's job is saved for at least another 10 years. The Steelers look to emerge out of the playoffs victorious, though there is a lot of questions surrounding this fucking team. Like, how the fuck are they going to beat Houston when they couldn't beat the likes of fucking Chicago, the Chargers, or even the goddamn Packers? This Steelers team is full of questions in the air, and I have no idea if they can really hang. Like, seriously, how the fuck do you only win after fucking your extra point just because a fucking kicker missed their goddamn field goal to win the game? Like, come on, that fucking Week 18 game against Baltimore was the biggest fucking fluke of all time. How in the actual fuck does that even muster? Sorry about that, I got off script. But the Steelers have had some bullshit wins this season, to say the least. Week 18 being the tip of the fucking iceberg. Travel down further and you'll see only a 5-point win against Detroit, where the referees had to bail their asses out. And they had bad losses as well. The Chargers by 15, the Packers by 10, the Bears by 3, the Seahawks by 14. The pain is everywhere in Pittsburgh. There is no escape, but it is all the time we have for on Days of Our Steelers. Seriously, can you try to get yourselves not killed against Houston, please? Please just put up some sort of fucking fight. Yeehaw there, partner. Live here from Houston, Texas. We got ourselves some Houston Texan football. The best goddamn defense the league has ever seen. Despite, losing multiple big games where you probably should have won. Don't worry about that, you inbred bitch. There's no need to talk shit about our Houston Texans. Look at all this bullshit we see here. 12-5 season, CJ Stroud looking like a god, Nico Collins being a goddamn dominant force. Our running back game, the less said about it, the better. It's here where we don't really know what the hell our goddamn run game's supposed to be. Except when it, pops in and out every now and again. We beat God's goddamn Colts, and probably over them all the success in the world because the Colts 8-2 collapse really needs to be studied. But goddamn, those goddamn Houston Texan boys are looking damn good this whole season. Hell, I'm not even gonna try to fucking do the voice anymore. Seriously though, the Texans are fucking phenomenal, and their defense is a scary fucking threat. Like, seriously, if Pittsburgh cannot hold this team on Monday Night Football in the wildcard round, it's safe to say Pittsburgh's going to fuck home and they're completely cooked. Like, this is a Texans defense that should not be taken lightly. They have proven time and time again that they will eat you up and spit you back out at every step of the fucking way. They don't beat the likes of Buffalo, Jacksonville, keep the game close to Denver and just completely beating the shit out of the Ravens, the Titans, and just anyone else in their sight. This is a Texans team that is scary. If they continue the pace they were going during the regular season, I think it's safe to say we might have a sleeper team in the Super Bowl. But only time will tell how that really plays out.
God f***ing damn it!
To say that this Buffalo team really took a step backward is somewhat of an understatement, albeit not too much. The Bills are still an elite team, but the question has been consistency. I mean, yes, there are games where the Bills look completely and utterly dominant, whereas other games they have completely fallen off the face of the fucking earth. And part of it's not even the offense's fault, it's really the defense that just keeps allowing continuous points to teams that didn't deserve it. Like 32 against Tampa fucking Bay, 23 against Houston, and you lost. 34 against a fucking Bengals team that was already eliminated from the playoffs. Hell, you even let the Saints get 19 on you. Your only saving grace was that you beat fucking Baltimore by a 40-25 comeback in week 1. That's the only credibility you really have. That's really it. And that's not fucking saying much, considering everything that the Bills have gone through this year. And against Jacksonville this week in the wild cards, they really need to bring their fucking A game. Otherwise, they're going to get chewed up, swallowed, and basically shit out by Jacksonville. Buffalo cannot afford to play fucking soft. They have to put full foot on the gas to even have a chance. Because not only that, they were humiliated by losing their division crown to the one team that they swore to destroy. They did not. They lost to New England the first time and only beat them by 4 in their second matchup. Say what you will, but Buffalo really needs to fucking think about how they're going to approach these playoffs. Because that fucking door is closing, and it is closing fast. This is your last chance before the new stadium gets here. Either make the Super Bowl or choke on your own shit once again in a Mahomes-less playoff. The team playing second fucking fiddle in the AFC to the Rams. The Chargers, how do I want to word this? Had a actually pretty decent year, all things considered. Beating the Chiefs in Brazil, basically sparking that downfall for Kansas City, which we all prayed for, let's be honest here. And then basically going completely up and fucking down. This is a team that didn't know what they wanted to be until the last half of the season. They decided they wanted to be playoff contenders. And boy, did they fucking show out. By beating Dallas by 17, keeping it close against Houston but only losing by 4. Beating the Chiefs again. Beating the Eagles in overtime. Beating the Raiders. We don't talk about that Jacksonville game, but beating Pittsburgh, beating Tennessee, beating the Vikings. Doing everything the right way, but somehow only ending up at the 7th seed. This is why we don't lose to fucking Denver, kids. Because losing to the Broncos just is going to mean every single fucking time that you're going to wind up shitting yourselves dry. In this case, the Chargers might have done just that. But they really need to step up if they're going to play New England. The New England Patriots secondary is something to not be fucking around with. Because if you've seen that secondary, they will pick you off real quick. Herbert needs to get his fucking receivers in check. And for the love of God, please establish that run game. Well, if you're a Chargers fan, that's what you're hoping for at least. But, point stands, Chargers, you want a shot? Well, just by looking at this one season, I think it's safe to say Sam Darnold is not a fluke. It was not a one-hit wonder with him in Minnesota last year. Sam Darnold is legit. Never thought I'd be saying that in 2026, but here we are. The Seahawks had a damn good year this year, and it showed. Dominating opponents left, right, and center, and making the rest of the NFC their proverbial bitch. To put it wisely, Seattle has been an underrated team all year long, and it shows. I mean, they've had a couple close games that they probably shouldn't have kept close. San Fran week 1, Jacksonville week 5 or 6, among many other instances. But Seattle managed to get the job done every single time. That 26-0 win over Minnesota, let's just say that was peak performance of their defense. The Seahawks, again, have been a dominant, legitimate team all season, and it helps with all of their players, not just Sam Darnold. Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker have proven to be a good tandem duo running back core in Seattle, but the loss of DK Metcalf brings the rise of JSN and AJ Barner, an underrated tight end that a lot of people have kind of slept on this year, but he has proven his worth. He has proven his worth and then tenfold. Not to mention, the running backs and all that, but let's not forget one name. Eric Sauber, the secondary tight end for the Seahawks, has provided clutch play after clutch play after clutch play for the Seahawks week in and week out. It's safe to say the Seahawks have a solid core, but the question is, can they keep it up? Only time will tell, because this is indeed playoff Darnold. Will he see ghosts, or will he thrive under pressure? Okay, seriously. Who the hell had the Chicago Bears being the number 2 seed in the NFC on their bingo cards? Because I'm not raising my hand, as I did not expect it. And I only see a couple of you with your hands, in which case you are lying to yourselves. Chicago had a fucking breakout year. Ben Johnson has been the fucking piece that they needed to solidify themselves as a good team. Listen, okay, let's break this all down. Yes, they got their asses handed to them 52-21 by Detroit in week 2. But let's not, diminish some of their accomplishments. Beating Cincinnati, of course. Beating the Vikings, the Steelers, the Eagles, the fucking Browns. Beating the Packers, finally, in Chicago. No, mind you, keeping up close performance after close performance. Chicago is a legitimate team, but the question remains, can their defense hold up? I mean, while the defense have had 20 moments of excellence, there's obviously still some concerning question marks. And against Green Bay on Saturday night, they're going to need every ounce of fucking credibility they have left. Because if they don't, well, I think it's safe to say that the Packers might be the ones laughing at the Bears at the end of the day. But the Bears, I feel like, have a secret weapon. The Pope. His Holiness will lead the Bears to glory. He'll use the power of Jesus to guide the Bears to their ultimate aspirations in a Super Bowl. Now, whether or not this may come to fruition, only time will tell. But the Bears are certainly looking like the holy team getting ready to go on a holy crusade of the NFC. Our defending Super Bowl champions are back in the playoffs. No one was shocked by this revelation whatsoever. What people were shocked about was how the Eagles kind of looked a little lackluster this season, for the lack of a better term. Sure, the Eagles looked good in a lot of their games, but they did not look good in others. That Chargers game, the Monsters Inc. game, that did not go well. The one against the Bills, they barely held on, but not by much. Week 18 against the Commanders, less said about that one, the better. Black Friday against the fucking Bears, I'm sure they'd want that one back. Same with the week prior against fucking Dallas. This Eagles team has looked somewhat oddly suspicious, and it's not helping their case. Yes, they have the greatest running back in Saquon Barkley, but only Saquon Barkley can do so fucking much for your team. Yes, he may be a generational talent, but generational talent can only take you so far. I mean, if it helps, at least you guys got Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown as good cohesive units on the offense. Even now, like, what the fuck is that really telling you? It's not like they utilized their tight ends much this season. Oh wait, they did utilize Dallas Goedert. and Grant Calcaterra from time to time. Alright, maybe they did utilize their tight ends. But even then, the Eagles' defense has been at times suspect and at other times glorious. Which version of these Eagles are we getting? Are we getting the Super Bowl 59 Eagles? Or are we getting the Eagles of 2010? And against San Francisco, that's going to be seen. And whether or not they can keep up with the 49ers, well, we'll just have to wait and see. Because that's really all we can do. The Eagles, wake the fuck up. The time is now to defend your crown.
Monkey trash.
Stop me if you've heard this before. The NFC South is a complete, utter dog shit division that no one should make the playoffs from there. In any case whatsoever, we have to give the spot to one team because we have to have one team for each division represented. Oh, you know it's not me. I don't know why, but I know the Buccaneer views are good, but wait a minute, Carolina? They're the NFC South champions? Well, might as well pack up the fucking bags now, because against the... Wait a minute, you beat the Rams before? And you face the Rams again at home? The same place you fucking beat them a few weeks prior? Well, hold on, we might have something here. Because the Panthers being on top of the NFC South is a fucking complete and utter bullshit turn of our justice system. This is a Panthers team that no one expected to make it this far, but yet they fucking did. Bryce fucking Young is somehow, someway leading this team to places unforeseen. Beating the Rams is one thing, okay? Beating the Falcons both times, beating the Bucks in Week 16, and keeping it close against teams they have no business fucking keeping it close against, and somehow beating, example being the Green Bay Packers. The fucking Panthers are a weird fucking team and a weird unit to really judge. Because no one knows what we're going to get, which Panthers we're going to get from week to week. But in this case, are we going to get the Rams that beat the fuck... Are we going to get the Panthers that beat the Rams? Or are we going to get the Panthers that got smoked by the Patriots all the way back in week 4? Panthers really need to fucking figure out what they want to be, and they better do it quick. Playoffs are here. Time to rumble, bitches. Wow. A Rams team that actually kept up in the fucking division. And are the second best team in their division because the Niners can't do anything worth shit. I mean, we sure they were injured, but still. The Rams are an interesting team. A team that's able to keep it close with the best of them, crush the worst of them, and for some reason allow the odd-on upset every now and again. Example of that upset being Carolina, their opponents in the wildcard round. These two teams played back on the 30th of November. Carolina won that fucking game by 3. And a fucking move that no one saw coming. They lost to the Falcons despite nearly coming all the way back. Losing to the Seahawks doesn't help, among other fucking factors. The Rams are a legitimate team and have a good shot at making the playoffs once again, but the question is their consistency. Can they keep up their momentum the way they had it? Again, I don't make the rules. I don't really determine how things go. What I do determine is, well, if they make it or not. That's all I'm here to do is, give my takes and talk about what I think makes the Super Bowl. We'll get to that later. But the Rams, again, are an interesting team. Their defense is held up at the best of times. And their offense has arguably done the same thing in some aspects. Although there are times where both falter, like every team, the Rams really can't afford to lose this game. Because they lose this game, well, you might as well kiss any playoff hope you had goodbye. That is if you also blow it on your first round pick from Atlanta. But I digress. Which Rams are we getting? Are we getting the Rams that we saw against the fucking Panthers? Or are we getting the Rams that we saw win the Super Bowl a couple years ago against the Bengals? Time will tell, but the Rams really need to figure it out.
Hacks!
For a team that has been dealing with injuries since the very fucking start of the season, San Fran's really held their own. Yes, I know they've had some tough losses here and there, but in all honesty, San Francisco has held on to their fucking own and make sure they had a damn good dominant season. That's what happens when Brock Purdy's your quarterback, even though he was also injured for a few games at the beginning of the year. Mac Jones seemed to step up, but then again, it's Mac Jones. I know this is a Patriots fan. Mac Jones in long-term periods of time is not always the best of situations. But handing the ass of the Colts to the Colts is probably their most dominant victory this season, all things considered. The Niners have what it takes to make a deep run, but they need to make sure they stay healthy. That is the biggest focal point surrounding the Niners this season. Injuries have hampered the fuck out of his team, but yet they still find ways to win. But what they need is a healthy roster with guys that are ready to fucking go. Because that's your only shot you got at beating Philadelphia. Now, I don't think you actually beat the fucking Eagles, but I do think you have a fighting chance if you can stop getting injured. Whether they do it or not is not my decision to really quarrel on. What is how I feel about the Niners, and I feel some hope. Not a whole lot, but some. That's all they really need. Because against the Eagles, they're going to need a fucking prayer if they're going to survive.
Cheese.
In all honesty, out of any of the possibilities the NFC had, this was your best choice to send to the playoffs as your 7th seed in the NFC. Don't get me wrong, I don't dislike Green Bay. I don't dislike Green Bay, but I have several questions pertaining to their overall fucking stature. Why the fuck are you losing to the Cleveland Browns? Why the fuck are you tying the Dallas Cowboys 40-40? Why the hell are you losing to the Panthers? Why the hell? Just why? What are you supposed to be? Because you look like a team that doesn't take their fucking playoff aspirations seriously. You got your asses handed to you multiple times this season, and you have no credibility whatsoever, but yet somehow you are stumbling into the playoffs. I don't even have a good comparison for this because you guys are so fucking confusing. You guys get your asses handed to you by Baltimore in week 17, and yet you still think you're the best option to make the fucking playoffs for the NFC? No, the fuck you're not. I would have taken Minnesota or Detroit. And that's really saying something, considering how you guys have fucking played. You guys don't even deserve to be here, but yet you've gotten in. You better hope to God the fucking holiness doesn't fucking take over the Bears. Because if it does, you can kiss your season goodbye. Because there's no way in hell you are pulling another performance like you did against the Cowboys a few years ago out of your ass again. I guarantee it. There's only one thing the Packers have going for them, and that's either Josh Jacobs, Luke Musgrave, Christian Watson, or Romeo Doubs. I can't really decide, but the money's on Dobbs. But I wish I knew what the hell the Packers were aspiring to be, but I think the cheese has gone moldy and it's not really consumable anymore. We gotta look at all 14 teams. We gotta look at everything there is to mention when talking about these teams. I have no idea. When it comes to really predicting these things, it's a tough cookie. Certain the playoff field on one side is more stacked than the other. But in my humble opinion, I feel that there is no Super Bowl matchup that makes more sense than Patriots versus Seahawks. Why the hell I'm feeling Super Bowl 49 all over again, I have no idea. But a weird part of me has that gut feeling of that's your playoff matchup in the Super Bowl. So that's my pick. Patriots, Seahawks, Super Bowl 60, book it. But that will do it for this version of the Amateurs Guide. Be sure to like, subscribe, share with everyone you know. I have been a Washington Canadian, and I'll see you guys this weekend for some wild card football. God bless.